Frost. Killer Frost. Hi everyone, welcome to HappyCool. My name is Americ, this is Sandrine, and we are going to review The Flash Season 3, Episode 7, titled Killer Frost. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what in this game.
We usually have live chats for The Flash, but this week we won't be available at our usual time, so we're doing this recorded review. But we will be back doing live reviews next week, and in case you don't know, the live reviews are at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Join us. Let's move on to talking about the episode. First, some quick thoughts. Kevin Smith directed the episode.
This is his second foray in directing an episode
of The Flash.
and
Another
what
big
an
one.
episode.
Yeah, he gets some good episodes.
He got some good episodes. That was pretty dope.
HR was really helpful this episode, and I remember that you weren't really convinced with his ability to help the team, and I was defending him because I was like, you know what, maybe he's gonna prompt people like, hey, how about this, I feel like he's the one who thought of Caitlin and Cisco helping Flash, and then he's also the one who thought of how to track Killer Frost. I feel like he's really helping everyone work together well.
He's the Steve Jobs of the Flash universe. I really love the scene between Barry and Iris where she was giving him a pep talk, just basically saying, you're not a god, you can't fix everything, but you have to lead. You can't just be sorry all the time, and I like that. She's right. Ultimately, it's his fault. He apologized. How many ways can he apologize, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you just gotta say, I'm sorry, all right, guys? I'm sorry I did it. I won't do it again.
Obviously, he's not doing it again because he's actually taking responsibility for those changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wally finally got his powers. I mean, it didn't work out exactly how he expected it to work out, but he's excited. He was like,
he was pretty excited. He was pretty excited.
It was nice to see.
It was nice to see. I'm sort of a little worried, though, because we don't know the consequences of his change, right?
Two possible consequences. First of all, they took him out of the cocoon a little too early, so we don't know how that's going to affect him. And then the second one is that he was given his power by Dr. Alchemy. Is maybe the bond between him and Alchemy broken because they took him out of the cocoon too soon?
Yeah.
I don't know. Lots of questions. I'm just excited for Wally.
Now let's talk about Savitar, aka the God of Motion, aka Speed God. What the freaking hell is that? He is so fast. He is ridiculously fast. He's not even, he's just a wormhole machine.
How Zoom wanted to be fast? He should have gone after Savitar.
Actually, he couldn't. He couldn't have gone after Savitar.
That's true.
He's so fast, he goes from one wormhole to another. He's everywhere at the same time. It was impressive, just to see him take Barry on a ride and say, hey, buddy, what's up? I'm flopping around. That's Barry, yo.
Caitlin, though, as much as Savitar is fast, he's not immune to, cold and being frozen. Once he defrosts himself, though, he can go. But, there's a split second where Caitlin was like, whoosh.
Don't mess with Killer Frost. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
So it's good to know that there is some way to stop him.
To slow him down, at the very least.
Yeah. I want to see more of him.
Oh, yeah. For sure. We definitely want to see more of Savitar. Definitely a very interesting addition to the universe.
Ooh, this season is so good. Let's move on to Caitlin / Killer Frost. So Caitlin is going towards the Killer Frost direction a little too much this episode, and to be fair, she's trying to get rid of the powers, which is ironic because she's becoming Killer Frost in order not to become Killer Frost, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, what I'm worried about is that Savitar and Alchemy seems to have plans for her. We don't really know what they are, but that guy that she went to see, his disciple or something, he seemed to say, oh, you're Caitlin Snow. It's like, oh, how does he know that? Why does he know her? Or he even knew Killer Frost.
He said that Savitar showed them the future. So maybe he has the ability, like Barry, of either going into the future and showing people this is what's going to happen, or for some reason bringing a vision of the future.
But isn't that worrisome?
It is extremely worrisome. For sure, not a good outcome for anyone. No. But it's good to see that Caitlin, although she was leaning towards the dark side, when she had that scene with Barry, and Barry was like, if you want to go, you can go, but you got to kill me. She was like, look at this. This is the
I
best.
got so emotional.
She was such a mess. But look, it was an emotional moment, but it also
So
highlighted that
nice.
Caitlyn was still Caitlyn.
Yes.
Right? Even though she was leaning, ultimately she was still who she was.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can tell. I mean, even physically, it was clear that the appearance of
Wasn't
Killer Frost
fully on.
hasn't full. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting to me that what Vibe saw still hasn't really happened.
It hasn't happened
that
because she was full on Killer Frost.
Yeah, she was full on Killer Frost. So I think there's gonna be instances where
Unless it's a Killer Frost from another Earth.
which is possible.
It's possible.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. Caitlyn, she's like my favorite character this season.
She's pretty awesome. We can't really gloss over the fact that when she was still Killer Frosty, leaning towards it, she kissed Barry. She didn't have to kiss him. She could have literally just put a finger on his face and done the same thing.
But she's evil, so she's messing with Barry. She's messing with Barry. She's messing with everyone. She's got that little evil
Maybe there's
side
a part
of
of
her.
Caitlyn that's all like, ooh, Barry, what is up? I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there in the universe. Although I'm not for it. Let's be clear. This is still Carrie country, guys. This is still Carrie country.
Carrie country.
Kara from Supergirl and Barry from The Flash.
Yes, the ultimate ship for
The
America.
ultimate ship.
Speaking of ships, did anybody think about Julian and Caitlyn?
No one
Or
thought of
just
those.
me?
You're so weird. You literally just see a male and a female character in the same scene. It's like, oh my god, this is on.
Isn't that what happens?
No.
That's what happens to me all the time. I'm like, oh. Well, yeah, these two, I'm really
need
easy when it
help.
comes to ship.
You need help.
Just put two
You
characters.
need extra help. Oh my god, why? But the question now that we're gonna pose to you, what is the ship name?
Oh.
Huh? Caitlyn and Julian, or
Caitlyn's-
Killer Frost and Dr. Alchemy.
Oh, Killer Alchemy.
Killer! That is awesome! That is a good,
That is a good one.
legit!
See, they were meant to be.
Killer Alchemy! What is
She can
up?
bring him to the good side.
Killer Alchemy.
It'll be like a pull, push and pull relationship, and he's like, "No, come to the dark side." I said, "No, come to
Guys,
the good side." No, come to the dark side.
if you like Killer Alchemy, hashtag Killer Alchemy in the comments below. Let us know.
Moving on from the ship, because obviously
No, it's
that's
fine,
just
it's fine.
my crazy brain doing its thing. Let's talk about Julian,
Oh,
the revelation.
okay. There are two things about Julian today that I want to mention.
Okay.
I want to mention the fact that after the confrontation, after doing the deal with Barry, he said, "Barry, you gots to go.
gots
All
to-
right, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't like your moral compass, buddy. I don't trust you." And then we find out that he's Dr. Alchemy all along.
But I think there's something more to it than that. Quite a few of you had mentioned in live chats that possibly he has a split personality, so he doesn't really know that he's Alchemy.
It's very possible. I think that's a possibility. Although he didn't seem like he switched from one side to the other.
Maybe he
seemed
only
like he was in
remembers-
denial.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
he-
he just remembers when the Savitar calls for him or something.
Yeah. I will say though, the whole reveal that he was Alchemy was kind of underwhelming for me.
Yes. I guess we figured it would be too easy for him to be Alchemy. I think we talked about that a lot during our live chats for the Flash.
Yeah.
And I mean, from the beginning, when they announced, oh, there's Alchemy, and we're like, well, it could be Tom Felton, because, he's this new character, and he's Tom Felton. He has to be a big character. But it seemed almost too obvious, where I'm like, well, they can't make him Dr. Alchemy, because there's really no other person that could be Dr. Alchemy except Julian, so it can't be him, because that's too obvious.
That's
but
so
I guess
obvious.
it was...
They kind of went with the obvious route there, which it's a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it.
No,
I don't
mean,
hate
I'm
it.
fine, but Man in the Iron Mask wasn't as obvious,
No,
right?
it was not. No, for sure.
You could figure out that it was Jay Garrick, but then you couldn't necessarily figure out that Jay Garrick was Barry's father from a different Earth, right?
Yeah.
So that was a little more. So that's why I expected this to be at that level. So,
But now we know that Julian is Dr. Alchemy. They're definitely just regrouping, going back at it with Savitar, the speed god, just ready to get this show on the road. And I'm really curious to see how this is going to go.
I mean, I personally am excited that he's Alchemy, because I wanted him to have something bigger to do than just being Julian.
Now that Barry has essentially quit, I'm actually a little bit happy about it.
Yes, what was he doing there anyway?
He didn't really have a job.
Was he even there?
He was
at
barely
all?
there. Like, they were like, oh, you're here? Like, finally, God. His ethics at work were questionable at best, right?
Plus, couldn't he work at Star Labs now?
Of course.
Although they have
I feel
money to pay him. I'm sure that'll work.
Yeah,
out.
I feel like now he can just fully focus on being the Flash and everything. So, it's gonna be interesting to see post CSI Barry, instead of just, the whole secret identity kind of thing.
Although he might eventually go back if Julian is Dr. Alchemy. Chances are that he won't be staying there either for very long. Of course, we would love to hear what you thought about the whole Alchemy reveal. Did you think it was Julian? Were you underwhelmed by the revelation like we were?
Comment below.
Let us know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It's always really helpful and we really appreciate it.
If you're new, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
I got a Flash t-shirt, but you can't see it. So I'm gonna show it to you now.